Hi guys, it's Angela here, and today we're talking about kinky boots. Yes, kinky boots indeed. So last night I went to see the fabulous, absolutely fabulous, totally incredible, awesome and amazing, impeccable performance called Kinky Boots. And if you don't know what Kinky Boots are, you really is missing out. That's really poor English. Sorry. If you don't know what Kinky Boots is, then you really are missing out. So Kinky Boots, it's a musical theatre production. And when I went to see this theatre show at my local theatre in Birmingham, it just brought back so many memories of the things we could and couldn't do as a Jehovah's Witness. Now, just to give you a little bit of background, the theatre show Kinky Boots, it's based on a true life story and a film, and it's actually been a Broadway show for those of you in America. It's been a long-running Broadway show, and I'm yet to go to Broadway. I've been to New York a couple of times, but I've never been to see theatre on Broadway, and that is on my bucket list of things to do. But it's also been a my hair is being really unruly today, I do apologise. It's also been a sellout West End show here in the UK, and it's been it's won all sorts of awards across in the US and also in London, and the production company is now touring it around the country, around the UK. So they're in Birmingham at the moment, so I went to see it last night because I absolutely love musical theatre. And if I was when I was growing up, one of my ambitions was to be able to sing. And if you've seen my video about Watchtower, the vibes and the music, you'll understand why I say it's one of my ambitions to learn how to sing. So I wish I could sing, but I always wanted to perform. And I loved drama at school and was only allowed to do it up until I was 16 and wasn't allowed to carry on drama as a career because of being a Jehovah's Witness. But I loved the whole performing, singing, dancing, acting, and it was always an ambition of mine that I wanted a career on the stage. Kinky Boots I absolutely love, and I went to see it last night. And just to give you a little bit of background, it's about a factory, Price and Sons, and the factory owner dies and he leaves his son in charge. Well, the business is really struggling, it's ready to close, when the factory owner, the son, comes across a performer, and this performer is amazing. And I say he because it is a man dressed in women's clothes, and he's a drag act, and does the most amazing performance and has these girls supporting his act. Anyway, they have a conversation and discover that the shoes that he's wearing are poorly made and built for a woman. And he then realises that the factory owner, Charlie, realises that his niche could be designing and developing these kinky boots for drag artists that looks glamorous and beautiful, but built to fit men. And this is what they do. And this factory then becomes a massive success, because they're now designing, developing these incredible kinky boots and selling them to the world. And it's actually based on a true story. And it's just the most wonderful, absolutely most wonderful cast. Singing, dancing, performing. It was incredible. But what I wanted to share with you, and here's my ticket. I always keep the ticket and the booklet. But what I wanted to share with you was that when I was Jehovah's Witness, whilst going to the theatre in itself wasn't prohibited, what we were allowed to watch definitely was censored. And seeing a show such as Kinky Boots when I was growing up would have been completely out of the question, because it dealt with issues that for many Jehovah's Witnesses, the elders and the governing body, is taboo. It's talking about drag artists and the life of a drag artist. And now I know that many Christians, not even Jehovah's Witnesses, but Christians in general, don't support a woman dressing in man's clothes. And therefore, you know, in a lot of Christian households and churches, women wearing trousers is totally forbidden. And this is forbidden not just in church, but just in everyday wear. They don't support that. And neither do they support men dressing in women's clothes either. And there is a passage in the Bible, it escapes me, but apparently there's a passage in the Bible that talks about that a man mustn't wear what belongs to a woman, and a woman mustn't wear what belongs to a man. So it's not just Jehovah's Witnesses, I have to say, but Christians in general. But for the purposes of this video, because I was a Jehovah's Witness, I'm going to talk about that. So but we wouldn't even have been allowed to go and see a show such as Kinky Boots because of the nature of the subject matter. And it really, as I've gotten older, I know what the Bible says about, you know, dressing in men or women's clothes, and I hear that. But as I've gotten older, my views are now no longer just black and white, as it was back then when I was growing up and had just left the Witness organisation. My views changed, and I could start to see in shades of grey. But now that I've, you know, been gone over 30 years, I can now see in colour, and I could see there's so much range and so much scope, and so much diversity in being able to express yourself no matter who you are. And I really believe that God, the Almighty, the Divine, the All-Powerful, He loves us. I truly believe that He loves us no matter who we are and how we choose to dress, regardless of whether you have, as in the show Kinky Boots, you have a man who is all very muscular. In the daytime is very comfortable wearing a suit and being a man, looking like a man and being accepted as a man, but then part of his job in the evening, a lifestyle that he chooses, is to express his femininity and to dress as a woman and to perform as a woman. And to be honest, I was pretty jealous. I was like, why? I need to get a pair of those heels, those killer heels. And I love the outfit, and I just love the whole femininity. Now, you know, for me, that's about expression. It's about expressing who you are and who you want to be. And in my eyes, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. As long as you are not hurting anybody. There are a lot worse things in the world, such as the Jehovah's Witnesses policies of shunning, of refusing its members to accept a blood transfusion, and of course covering up child sexual abuse. In my view, those are much worse, much more demonic, and much more displeasing, and much more displeasing to God than somebody who chooses to express themselves through their clothing and their character. And I think this is where people get, in my opinion, people get the whole God belief and faith things completely twisted, because God is so powerful. He created the heavens, the earth, they created man, everything in the earth that we have. And we look around, and nature, for example, is just incredible. And one of my passions is gemology, and I love gemstones and the beautiful gems that this earth produces. And I look at that and I see the glory of God, the glory of the Almighty, the all-powerful, the divine. And I'm like, wow, if God is so incredibly awesome, why would he be interested in, you know, in how we dress? Yeah, either for worship or in our day-to-day lives, in our you know, personal pursuits. Why would he be interested? You know, for me, the Bible tells me when I read it to render your hearts and not your garments. So, yeah, you know, watching this amazing performance, the singing, the acting, the fabulousness of the storytelling of the actors in this production. I sat there last night, and whilst I thoroughly enjoyed it, I did have a lot of regrets. And my regrets, as I say, were seeing how, in my opinion, how shallow people can be when it comes to people expressing who they are. And I think it's much better for us to express who we are and live a happy and fulfilled life where we're comfortable, rather than suppressing who we are and we live in a miserable, sad, unhappy life where we don't find the love that we need, where it expresses itself through illness and poor health. And for me, that is wrong. You know, express who you are, love who you are, and enjoy being who you are. Unfortunately, society has a long way to go. I think we're getting there, but it still has a long way to go in accepting people who are still outside of the norm. You know, society is more comfortable with gays, lesbians, homosexuals, bisexuals, and people who chooses to express themselves in that manner, as long as it conforms to society's accepted standard. But I think we still have a long way to go in terms of accepting all shades, all sides and all colours of diversity. So, for example, me growing up in a West Indian background and in a West Indian family, it's the idea of somebody in our culture being gay, being a homosexual or lesbian or bisexual, is still very much frowned upon, even though in some sectors of the community and society that is accepted and it's embraced. But still in many of the Caribbean communities, and I know a lot of the African communities, it is still very much shunned. So yeah, we still have a long way to go when it comes to that. And in the show yesterday, the main character in the show Kinky Boots, the main character is a man who expresses himself in a very feminine way. He wears this fabulous drag outfits and does this drag performance which the wider community loves, but in his own social circle, even in his own family, he's not accepted. So yeah, you know, so that was one of my regrets when I watched that, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses have absolutely no tolerance whatsoever of diversity, none whatsoever. You are expected to be heterosexual and straight, whatever you want to call it, but it needs to fit into their tiny little world of, you know, this is what a man looks like, this is what a woman looks like, and this is what a relationship looks like. And then they label it as this is pleasing to God. And they even go as far as to what type of sexual relations a man and a woman should have, what sexual positions is okay for them, okay for God, you know, pleasing to God. And they have these rules that's got nothing to do with anybody other than a couple, married or not. You know, some people choose that they don't want to get married, and that's absolutely fine. You know, I'm not married, I've never been married, you know, and that's a choice that I've made, you know, but still enjoy, you know, healthy relationships. So, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, if I was going there, I would be disfellowshipped straight away. I would be disfellowshipped. But to me, nobody has a right over my life. My life is between me and my Creator. So, yeah, and the other regret that I had whilst watching this amazing performance yesterday was how I felt robbed. I felt robbed that I didn't have the opportunity to be myself and to develop the career that I wanted. I would have loved to have been a singer, a dancer, a performer. I always wanted to be on stage. And when I was about 12, our school, you know, you go on school trips and that, and we went to, there was a school trip down to London to see a theatre show called The Crucible. Now, I didn't tell my parents what this theatre show was about because I knew I would not be allowed to go. And in fact, my friend in my class who was a Jehovah's Witness, who used to go to the same Kingdom Hall. She wasn't allowed to go because she told her parents or her mum what the theatre show was about, so she wasn't allowed to go. But I just said to my parents something like, oh, you know, we need to do it for, you know, for school. So I didn't actually tell them what it was about, so I was able to go. But had I told my mum what it was, there's no way I would have been able to go, because if you know the story of the Crucible, it's about it's about witches and witchcraft, and it's set in America. I forget the era now. Oh, the Salem witches, that's it. It's set around the Salem, set in Salem, around the story of the Salem witches. And that's what it was about. So there's no way I would have been able to go. But having been, that really excited my passion for theatre and for acting and for drama and performance. So having tasted that, you know, that really instilled my passion. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to jump on quickly just to share that with you about Kinky Boots. If you've not seen it and you have a chance to see it and you love theatre, I would definitely recommend you to go. It's an absolutely wonderful performance. Well, it's award winning, so it must be good. But yeah, those are my thoughts when I saw that yeah, how restrictive Jehovah's Witnesses are in refusing to allow people to express who they truly are. Again, another form of control, which is not right. It's not right at all. Anyway, guys, that's it for me on this one. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Oh, before we go, if you've not, how could I forget to tell you this? If it's all the kinkiness that's getting to me, that's what it is. So guys, as usual, please subscribe if you've not subscribed before. Hit the red subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you have previously subscribed, thank you for coming back and watching. Listen, guys, love you loads. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Take care now.